The other day was Joe's birthday, 1st of June to be exact. And if any of you guys don't know who Joe was, he was one of Ren's best friends who jumped off of the Mina Bridge. Here is a note that I saw Ren post the other day on YouTube. Go subscribe and check out his community tab if you want to check out the whole post. I first met Joe when I was 8 years old. My friend Josh said I had to meet this guy, so we both walked over to his. It took about 10 minutes from my house. I was greeted by this kid covered head to toe in freckles. He grinned at us, climbed onto the back of his sofa and screamed, "Swanton bomb!" Then front flipped off the top and landed right onto his back on a stone floor. Dude sounded like he was off the wall. He lay still for a moment, twitched a few times, then got up, grinned at us, brushed himself off, and did it again. You always had those crazy friends growing up. This was Joe. He would do anything to make people laugh. He ended up becoming one of my best friends. He was there when we stole our first cigarettes out his mom's pack, way too young. He was there when I had my first kiss with a girl twice my size on the back of the 42 bus. He was there when I got so drunk I threw up in the woods after drinking as much white lightning cider as we could. I remember the first time I stole cigarettes. Well, not the first time I stole cigarettes, but this one time I stole cigarettes from one of our school teachers. We were on a school holiday and we ran out of cigarettes and we were desperate, so we took a bunch and we left some money there. And obviously they found out and then they gave us some hardings. But it was all in good fun. But I don't smoke anymore. Stopped for about 8 years. I was there when he did his first backflip on skates and saw him do a 720 off the pier cave. That moment became legendary. All of these little details he adds into the songs I've noticed. On Christmas Eve 2010, I was sitting in a pub with Joe. He'd been feeling low after a couple of consecutive breakups. He tried to check himself into a mental health outpatient facility a few weeks earlier, but they turned him away because he didn't have an appointment. Okay, sounds about right. He turned to me and said that sometimes he wished he could just walk into the sea and keep walking. He said it in a kind of half-joking, throwaway comment type of way, then took a sip of his drink, walked over to the jukebox and put Dig by Incubus on. If I knew that was the last time I would see Joe, I would have hugged him, told him how much I loved him, how much I looked up to him, how much we all loved him, and wouldn't have left that pub. I didn't know that, so I finished my drink, said Happy Christmas, and left. That's the thing in life, eh guys? You never know when's the last time you're ever going to see somebody, so you got to hold on to people dearly and not be too harsh or ever leave on harsh terms or anything like that, because you just never know. That's one thing I've learned. Life is very, very, very short. 2 nights after Christmas, I got woken up by a phone call at 3 a.m. It was my friend Ella. She told me Joe was on the Mina Bridge, a large suspension bridge connecting the mainland to the Isle of Angsley, where we lived. He'd been on the phone to her in tears saying goodbye. He told her to tell everyone he loved them. I pulled on my clothes as fast as I could and started running towards the bridge. It was an uphill. I lived about a 10-minute walk away. I could run it in 5. As I ran, I started dialing, then redialing his number. The line was busy, which was a good sign. It meant he was still on the phone to someone. As I got about halfway, the busy tone changed. It told me the line was out of service. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps here. This is gonna be intense. I got a sinky feeling and picked up my speed. I arrived to the bridge minutes after I left my house. It was definitely quiet. I was the first person to arrive. I got there probably about 2 minutes too late. Joe's body was never found. It's such an intense story. And then if you go check on that post there's Facebook post that Ren had given to Joe. After that, it's pretty sad to go read. You guys should go check it out. But it was pretty awesome as well, just knowing that Ren cared so much about this guy. I never felt like I had any friends that would have done anything like this for me growing up. I really just felt truly alone in the world. I actually did a reaction for Freckled Angels a couple of days ago, just after Joe's birthday, but never posted it. I don't know why. This will be a pretty hard song to cover because I've also dealt with depression and thoughts of suicide my whole life. I used to sit and daydream when I was younger about all these self-harm thoughts, and they would bring me comfort. That was just something I used to do a lot. I'd even go and Google different ways that you could commit suicide and just read about it, and just reading about it would bring me comforts. I don't know if there's a psychology behind that or something, but it was strange. It happened multiple times a day for years. I just never felt like anyone ever liked me or that I was ever good enough for anything. Felt like a constant failure my whole life. Only over the last couple of years have I found happiness within myself, and it still takes work, but I'm not daydreaming about death anymore, and I actually love being alive, living life. So I'm actually glad that I failed at one thing, and that was trying to commit suicide, because then I wouldn't have the amazing life I have today. And back then I would never have thought I would be this happy, but it happened. So I'm so grateful for that. Just never give up on anything, no matter how bad it seems. There's always a way, guys. Always. I speak more about this topic on my Red and Chinchilla Talk outlines and how to be me videos. If you want to check them out, I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll go in a lot of detail about more of my past. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. We've gone on such a journey the last 2 months or so. I started off as a gaming channel and I did that for about 2 years. Though I did fail at it, I think, because it never went anywhere. And I was so close to giving up on YouTube, but just thought to myself, hey, let's try doing some reacting videos. And I just love music so much. And I spent almost 20 years of my life playing drums. And I'm pretty glad that I did do it because I've met so many amazing people. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for giving me all the love and support over the last 2 months. It's been so amazing. And I'm just glad that I carried on with this journey. Ren was my third reaction I did, and the first time I ever got so many views on YouTube. Yeah, I think I got about 9,000 views and 100 subscribers on that video. I was like, whoa, because that's like never happened before. I had to work hard in those 2 years for those 1,000 subs for that gaming channel. And now, yeah, I'm going to keep working hard at bringing you guys reactions and trying to do my best. I've started to write a little bit more scripts and just editing a bit better. I hope you guys enjoy it. All of this I'm just doing by myself. The thumbnails I make, sometimes Celeste helps me, my fiance. She's helped me a lot through life as well. So I want to just thank you, Celeste, for everything that you've done for me. You're absolutely the best. And I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. Through Ren and many other musicians, I can share a message of positivity. That is what I'm trying to do. Just share joy and happiness because I've lived a very sad life for most of it. So I just want to bring happiness and smiles to everybody's face. Sometimes I do these sad videos and they usually do the best though, because people can obviously relate to it. But I also want to try and bring joy and a positive message and let you guys know that it's not always bad times and the end of the world. And yeah, it's just causing a conscious shift, I think, into a negative space. I'm just trying to turn the tides and put our minds into a positive space. This is probably going on too long now, and I know the longer the videos, the less likely people are to click on it. The YouTube game is also hard on the self-esteem because if a video doesn't do well, then it like just hits me hard. But I've learned so many ways of self-reflection that I just try not to let these things bother me anymore. But it's hard. It is really hard because this is also my source of income. So if a video doesn't do well, then I won't be making that much money, but that's just the way it is. And I'm sure this video won't be monetized as well because of the topic that we're talking about. YouTube doesn't like suicide and things like that. But so if you guys are feeling generous, I'll leave my PayPal in the description below. You can also become a certified G if you guys want by becoming YouTube or Patreon members. But let's not delay any longer. This is Ren, Suicide. Hopefully I'm mentally ready for this. Let's go.
Through the cracks of the night sky, a light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Oh, treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. I'm so fucking lonely beneath this. Narcissistic, can't keep a secret. Miscount sheep, I can't sleep, a misfit. Some say trouble, but some say sadistic. Bruises my brother, one time or the other. My skin felt counterfeit, silicone rubber. Bruises my sister, skin pop the blister. Dig deep, resist the feeling when it hits you. Falling through the cracks of the night sky. A light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy. I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. I'm I'm so fucking washed up and seasick. Masochistic kid with a split lip. 6 feet deep, I can't eat, I'm nervous. Won't stay down cause my body purges. Useless my mother, can't keep in my supper. Skin so pale cause my cheeks leak colour. Truth is my father, you choose your karma. Draw for the sword, then drive through the armour. Oh I, oh I, oh I, falling through the cracks of the night sky. A light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Oh I, oh I, oh I, treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide.
It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch. I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bitterness, hatchet job. I locked my youth inside a trunk, inside a pickup truck, then dumped the whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as well. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Sega, Justin, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. The distance is my plaster cast. The truth is to the day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find that anger. All I find is missing you, man, I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying, and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it worked, cause I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I could find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you absurd. Fuck.
Yo. Just. Wow, that ending. Whew. Ren, man. It must have been hard, eh? I felt those moments. So many times where there was even once when I was on top of a bridge when I was living in the UK, and there was a train coming past, and I was thinking, this time I'm going to do it, and I was like about to do it. And when you were saying those words, I just went back to that time, and imagine just, I don't know, it's hard. Oh. Cathartic. Damn, that cut deep. Gone full circle, but we have to release these feelings sometimes. And I read the whole story before that, and that even hit deeper. I don't think I had much else to say after that. I love the AR of the video. That was so cool, and the way that he was like turning into a robot. And I hope Ren finds happiness in himself one day. I mean, he wasn't to blame. No one's to blame for what other people do. Damn, that ending did get me. Yeah, just what a journey it's been. But I love music though. I just love these like releases in life where you can just listen to music, cry, feel angry, feel happiness, whatever, and then you just live it in that moment and then afterwards, yeah, we just go on. I hope a lot of people talk about this one, and I hope it gets. I just hope Ren finds what he needs in life. I hope he comes out of the hospital feeling better. Hope he gets all the medication he needs. Hopefully one day he can find happiness in himself. I'm still just like thinking about this song so much. I think I'm going to leave it there, let it sit with me for a couple of days. I'm going to have to edit this and listen to it a few more times. Whew. But yeah, I'm making this video a lot longer now. It's been your boy, guys. Much love, peace, happiness. We'll catch you on the next one.